Keys to victory? Let's do it. Do you want to actually start with the Pac-12 championship, or do you want to go something tomorrow?
It's today.
Let's do it
today. Because we're going to give our picks in the Saturday special tomorrow.
Saturday special tomorrow. Picks.
All right. My key for Utah, it's pretty simple. Cam has to come through at the end. I think Utah's going to put up a hell of a fight tonight. I know they did beat USC, but they're still the underdog in this game. They're going into this game knowing they're not going to the playoff, but they could ruin USC's chance to go to the playoff, which would be huge for recruiting, even though USC is leaving. But if you look in the big games, most of them, and this is one of the most surprising things I think I've said all year when it comes to college football. In the big games, Cam Rising has really struggled at the end. You know, last year we saw Cam Rising come in game 2, game 3, I can't remember it right off the rip, and just explode onto the scene. Play very well, come through in the clutch moments. Help Utah, lead Utah to what they did in a Rose Bowl berth against Ohio State. But it seems in the Florida game, I mean, you go back to the big games that they've lost. Outside of USC, he has made the big turnover at the end or made the mistake at the end. If you're Utah, you want the ball in Cam Rising's hand. Tavion Thomas ain't going to be out there. He's done. He's done for the year. You want that ball in Cam Rising's hand because that's your guy at the end of the game. And when it's in his hand, he's got to come through. That's my key. I think he's going to have a chance. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Cam Rising is going to have a chance at the end. Is that a drive to go kick a field goal to win or tie? Maybe. Is that a drive to go score a touchdown to win or tie? Maybe. Is it a 2-point conversion to win the game at the end? Maybe. At some point, Cam Rising is going to have a chance at the end to win this game. And he cannot do what we've seen him do 2 or 3 times this year. And that's turn the ball over. Go back to the Florida game, how it started. How do you think the trajectory of this Utah team would have been different if he doesn't throw that interception in the end zone? And look, it takes nothing away from Florida. I know it's a hypothetical, but it's a sports show. We deal in hypotheticals. So that is my key for Utah. What's your key for Utah?
Utah still lost on the road at UCLA and on the road at Oregon. So it was tough to watch him because he led that drive so great against Florida early.
Well, that's the thing. It was good drives, but he'd fumble at the end or throw a pick at the end.
It was an interception at the very end. I still think they would have had a tough challenge on the road at UCLA and on the road at Oregon. All 3 games they've lost this season have been true road games. They're going to get a neutral site game tonight. My question for you is, it's so hard to beat a team twice, and that's what Utah's trying to do here against Southern Cal. If you're USC, are you happy to be seeing Utah in the Pac-12 championship, or would you rather be playing Oregon or Washington?
You'd much rather be playing a team you haven't played yet. You'd much rather.
Southern Cal?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, if you're Southern Cal, are you happy to be
No, I'm not. That's
even though they lost to them already.
Even though you lost to them. They've seen you. When you have the weapons that USC has, I feel like that element of your first experience against Caleb Williams as a defense, you're almost learning throughout the game. You're not just reacting, you're learning. You're having to get used to him. He's kind of dictating how you play defensively. It's kind of like when you watch rushers, sometimes when they go to Caleb Williams, even experienced guys, the first time they're seeing him, they're kind of slow, they're kind of feeling it out, which gives Caleb that extra time to be able to make that move or maybe break the pocket or step up in the pocket or lead the pocket forward instead of wide on either side, helping out the offensive tackles. I would much rather see a team that I have not seen because Utah, the thing about Utah is a physical football team. I think UCLA is a physical football team. Oregon has some physical aspects to it. That's the way Mario built it, and that's what Dan has continued. But Utah, to me, is a little bit of a different type of physicality, and they've already seen you. It's like if I'm a pitcher and I'm going against a hitter. I have a lot more advantages the first time he sees me than the second time he sees me. That is a real thing. I would much rather be playing a team I hadn't played all year.
Blaine, Cam Rising in the first matchup had 415 through the air, had another 60 on the ground. Are they going to be trying to throw the ball around the yard tonight?
Yeah, dude, both these teams are. One, take the over. I think it's at 60, was it 67,
67 is where I got it.
Yeah, this will be both teams scoring 40 points. But what I'm looking at is key for this game, especially for Utah, man, it's red zone trips. What do you do in the red zone? Third down, and what do you do in the red zone? Because both these offenses are going to be moving the ball. Touchdowns, whoever scores more touchdowns, obviously, and less field goals. I wonder how many 4th downs we're going to see in this game from both teams.
How many teams are going to go for it?
Go for it on 4th down. I bet it's, God, what do you think, over?
You almost have to score every time you touch the ball.
4 each on each side. I wouldn't be surprised by that because you're going to have to put points up to win this game. I think it's going to come down to what you mentioned earlier, when it comes to Cam Rising in big games this year. Can he make the play when it counts? Go back to that Oregon game. The play calls were there. Cam Rising was blowing the plays, put that 4th and 2, easy ball out to the flat, puts a string on it, throws it short. And we're not used to that because what we saw from Cam Rising last year. When he was younger, what did he do? He made the big plays and big moments. So
he was the Dark Knight Rising.
Yeah, that's who I was. So if my key for Utah is two things. Third downs and red zone. If they are 50% or better in third downs and really good in the red zone, I see them winning this football game.
Yeah, and if it's USC quickly, offensively, they're going to be fine. I'm not worried about them. I think they're actually going to be able to run the ball a little bit better than what people think in this game. But defensively, they have survived and stopped people off turnovers and being a bend but don't break defense, kind of like Blaine brought up. They need to be a bend but don't break defense. Holding a team to a field goal tonight is a win. Let me say that again. Holding a team to a field goal tonight is a win. I do feel like with the way Cam Rising has turned the ball over, is he primed to do it more? Will he protect it? If he protects it, is that going to take away his aggressiveness down the field maybe a little bit? That's a true thing. Those two things can happen at the same time. I'm not sure. But this USC defense has to be bend but don't break. A field goal's a win. Get you a couple turnovers. That's the recipe.
Georgia, LSU.
Well, we're going to make our picks tomorrow, but keys for LSU is you are going to have to find a way for Jaden Daniels to throw the ball and have success. I do not think I love the 2 young tackles. They're going to be good. LSU will be fine eventually on the offensive line. They are not ready to line up and be able to dictate the line of scrimmage to what Georgia's bringing out there in the run game. So what does that mean? You have got to use a bunch of modified runs. We talked about this with LSU and Alabama a little bit. Getting Jaden Daniels out of the pocket, running those pick plays, having him understand that getting us in 2nd and 5 on a 5-yard run, a guy may be a little bit open, but if you can run and go get the first down, run and go get the first down. This is not time to play hero ball, but you have got to find a way for Jaden Daniels to be effective through the air. Does that mean he has to throw for 400 yards? No. Does that mean he has to throw for 4 touchdowns? No. He has got to be effective enough where they can get into 2nd and manageable, which will lead you to 3rd and manageable, and they can't just run it into a stone wall on 1st down and hope something good happens. That is the ultimate death sentence if you're trying to beat this Georgia team because they're different on offense this year than they were last year. You're getting A.D. Mitchell back, I believe, but if you're LSU, you have got to find a way to have Jaden Daniels throw the ball. Your secondary's been playing fine on defense, but you're going to have to score points to beat this Georgia team.
I say Jaden Daniels in the run game. I would want to see a lot of QB design runs if I'm LSU.
True hat on a hat.
True hat on a hat. Jaden, be a little witch in the box. Jaden's a tough guy to tackle in space. Hope he's fully healthy. We saw what happened. Apparently, we talked to Moscona. He's been practicing all week.
Sounds like he's going.
Sounds like he's going. All right. If I'm LSU's defense, I'm hoping and praying that Stetson has a bad game. I might try to heat him up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm LSU's defense. I'm getting mostly everybody up on the line of scrimmage. All right, let's mix it up. Let's send blitz, zone blitzes. Let's throw them from everywhere. Make Stetson, which he's done a good job of, diagnose the blitz and beat you for the defense. But for the offense, man, I'm getting Jaden in space, a lot of QB runs, and hope just Georgia has a bad game on offense.
All right, we'll roll through these 3 quickly because we are making our picks for our Saturday special tomorrow. This is another rematch in a conference championship, TCU, Kansas State.
Yeah, look, here's, and I do want to say about Georgia real quick. Todd Monken cannot play this safe. You have to play this aggressively from a play calling standpoint. You need to put points on the board. You can bury them early. Don't go in there with vanilla ice cream or peanut butter and jelly. Give them a little bit of something different. Change your formations. Give you a motion, couple trick plays, get Stetson on the move. When it comes to TCU and Kansas State, my key to victory for TCU is you have to keep hitting the home run. And to hit home runs, sometimes you got to try and hit a home run. I don't think TCU needs to get cute in this game. I don't think TCU and Sonny Dykes need to play a game of look at my intermediate passing game and short game the whole time. I'm going to be able to line up and run Kendre Miller for 160 yards. I don't think Kendre Miller's lining up running for 160 again. You have made a living hitting the home runs down the field. Darius Davis, the little witch. Johnson, the big witch. They've got guys running around that wide receiver room. You saw it against Baylor, a little bit of the depth that they had when they had to have it on that last drive. Guys making plays. Keep trying to hit the home run. TCU is devastating down the field. Max Duggan throws one of the best deep balls in the country. Keep going to the well. It's like home runs. If I go up there in 5 at-bats and I hit a home run 1 out of every 5 times, I'm paid, buddy. That's all you need. It's the threat. The deep threat opens up the middle. The deep threat opens up the middle and the short, and then eventually opens up the run game because those safeties get a little nervy. If I'm Kansas State, Will Howard, you're the guy. Go get it. Quarterback run game. Just like Blaine said for LSU, I think they are going to key on Deuce Vaughn. Everybody knows. I know he's hard to see. Okay, he's as big as that pylon sitting on that treasure chest right there. But they're going to key on Deuce Vaughn, and they're going to probably make somebody else beat them. Will Howard, with his legs, can do it. I think we're in for a shootout, fellas. An old-fashioned Texas two-step shootout. Pew, pew. Whew, whew. Yeah.
Michigan, Purdue, Blake Corum, unfortunately, is out for the remainder of the season. He's going to have knee surgery. How do you see this one shaking out now?
Well, unless whatever happens, like I said earlier, unless you have all those things that I mentioned, I don't see a way in which Purdue doesn't get smushed. And what do I mean by smushed? I mean,
What a word.
Michigan's offensive line and defensive line smushing you like your peanut butter and jelly sandwich in your lunchbox when you dropped it before lunch and stepped on it, didn't realize it. Purdue, you're going to have to throw this 100 times. You're just going to have to throw it as many times as possible, which they'll do. Jeff Brom will do it. Aiden O'Connell will do it. You just can't turn the ball. You can't make the devastating Aiden O'Connell, no, there's the linebacker, pick six. Or, hey, I'm trying to escape through the pocket. I'm not super agile, strip sack fumble. Purdue's got to play perfect. I typically don't have to say, Purdue's got to play perfect. Because Michigan, that offensive line is going to do unfathomable and unforgivable things to that Purdue front seven. And not in the good way.
In front of their family and everything?
In front of their family and everybody else.
So, yeah, I'm looking right here. Michigan has a 90% chance to win this game.
I don't like to hear that. Let's get it closer to 62.
Wow, it just went up to 91%.
Where are you seeing this on
have my
Purdue
sources.
on PurdueBettingLines.com or something?
What does
called
Purdue have to do to
PurdueHelpUsGod.org.
win this game? One, confuse J.J. McCarthy. I want to see what Harbaugh does this game. Do we see a little bit more airing out? Is it going to be the run game without Blake? I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more run.
He's going to turn around and
because I don't think Purdue is
going
going to come out and zero and say, here, hashtag go
Cornelius Johnson, do it again.
Help us God. But I want to see what the scheme is for the defense for Purdue. It's the same thing I kind of said for LSU. Put them on the line of scrimmage. Let's see if we confuse JJ a little bit. Offense. I mean, the quarterback's going to have to have his best game of his career to win the game. No picks. I mean, QBR in the 90s. This is going to need to be a day for him. But this head coach, undefeated, top 3 teams. You know, so I don't think Purdue's going to win this game. But for some reason, deep in my bones, I feel like this is going to be a close game.
I just think they're going to get smushed. I think Michigan's going to be like, as it just down said hut, turn around and hand it off. Like, oh, we got 7. Oh, we got 9. There he goes. Down the sidelines. I think y'all going to murder him. Smush fest.
The Jinx Fest here.
No. You're against it. Blaine's saying it's going to be tight. I'm saying it's going to be a blowout.
There we go.
What else do
You want me to say?
I like
you want me to say you're going to get killed?
Yeah. What?
Michigan's going to lose by 50.
Yeah. Michigan sucks.
Clemson, North Carolina.
Who cares?
What?
What?
Don't do that.
Don't do that to the
Drake
ACC.
May. Don't do that to Drake May. It's not his fault.
He's not transferring to Alabama.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I'm just telling you. And people ask like, hey,
Don't say
hey,
that.
did somebody tell you this? No. But I've watched this movie for a long time, okay? It's like I know I can turn the lights off in my kitchen and walk around and know where I'm at. I know what's happening. Here's what's going to happen. You want to know what's going to happen? Phil Longo may end up being the OC at Auburn. So he's going to be gone from North Carolina. Then you got Josh Downs. He's gone, your best receiver. Drake May's going to be looking around and go, you know what? It would be smart for me to just enter the transfer portal, just from leverage standpoint. It's a brilliant business move if I'm a great football player in college now. All right, I'm going in the portal until I see your latest offer. I would do it. I'd tell my son to do it. Like you can say
That's
morality.
awful. I hate that. I
Call
hate
the
it.
morality, please.
Oh, what?
David. David.
I hate
I'm
it.
out.
I hate it too. I'm not saying I like it, but it's, again, I don't like that some people don't pay taxes, but they know more about the tax laws than me. You know what I'm saying? There's a tax loophole. Okay. You're smart for taking it. I'm dumb for not knowing it. All right? Drake May, if he's smart, will go in the portal and leverage that and go back to North Carolina. And here's what will happen. He'll just take a visit on down to Bama. Oh, I just want to see it. My aunt lives down there. I got friends that are down there. I'm a legacy in North Carolina. I'm not going anywhere. And all of a sudden, Nick's going to hit that button, open that door. It's going to be like, shoo. It's going to be like, Drake, come in here. It's just going to be gold shining out of all corners. There's going to be like exotic animals and holograms walking around. It's going to be like one of the bars in Star Wars. And he's going to come in, and guess who he's going to come out? He's going to go play quarterback at Bama. I'm just telling you. You can say what you want. I just feel like it's going to happen. I don't have any inside source on this other than I've just watched this movie. Just here we go. I've seen it before. Just watch.
And he committed to them out of the gate, right? Decommitted. He's a North Carolina legacy. That was tugging at his
Who else is a North
heart.
Carolina legacy? Well, that's not true. But you know who else went to North Carolina and came back to the SEC? Walker Kessler.
That
Did we
is
have a
true.
Walker Kessler?
He did do that.
And he was like
Drake made Auburn? Is that what you're saying?
No. Don't give me.
Drake made
Drake made
Auburn?
Auburn?
I'm not ready to be hurt again.
Drake made Auburn?
Please.
I thought it was going to be Cade McNamara, but he is.
Yeah, he went to Iowa.
Wow, what a perfect fit.
Oh.
What
He
a
is going to
perfect
improve Iowa.
No,
Okay,
He
great.
hands off real good.
Yeah.
Still do that to Cade.
He hands
He's
off.
a good
He's going
leader.
to improve Iowa.
Good leader.
Okay, keep
A
going.
blind kid can
Keep
improve
going.
Kid.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Proven winner.
Yeah.
Made it to the college football playoff. They got beat pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of good things there, all right?
Him at Iowa
Put some
is just-
respect on Cade McNamara.
Look, he's better than Petrus and Padilla, but so is my 22-week-old French Bulldog.
Cade's
puppy.
tough.
Is she in the portal?
She-
Is Millie in the portal?
Millie would-
Wow, she's already in the
In the
No,
portal?
first off, no, first off,
It's a good
First off,
dog
I'll
move.
fight every-
Wow.
It's a
I'll
good
fight
dog
every
She
move.
thought
one
she was
here.
getting in a
No.
different
No.
situation.
I'll fight
Maybe
everyone
maybe
here.
the food's
switched
getting
up.
a little stale.
People
maybe she
switched
wants
up.
better food.
All right.
You know, she's trying to leverage the
Okay.
household.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Hold on. Go ahead and order that poison, Reed. Hey, everybody, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe, right? It's just the right thing to do. Like walking old ladies across the street, tipping waitresses well, and screaming at the TV when nobody else is in the room.